Welcome back to Treasure Theory, guys. We're going to be doing another market watch review. We're going to be seeing what people are buying and selling right now, and there is a lot to talk about today. If you're very new to the One Piece market, this is going to be a very informative video for you, and if you've been here for a while, you're going to find this interesting because we're starting to see some really strange cards pop up on eBay that are getting bought out and sold and all that sort of great stuff. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We're just going to get right into it today, and without any further ado, let's just jump into it. All right, guys, so starting off, we've got the Trafalgar Law SP from the OP15 set, and guys, I really think these cards are absolutely gorgeous. They're a must-have, and you know, if you've seen them in person, and why am I doing these hands? Trafalgar Law, he's a good guy, okay? He's a good guy. He's got good cards, and as we can see here, it's best accepted offer 660, but 130 point for some reason does not register. Can somebody explain why that happens sometimes? But anyways, let's just assume this card sold for a little under this, probably $100 less. But regardless, I think these SPs are a really good buy right now. You know, OP16 just came out, so OP15 is kind of in a bit of a, you know, a lull right now. The set's been out for, you know, a few months. People are kind of bored with that set. They're moving on to the new stuff. Now is the time to pay attention and buy stuff from there. But anyways, let's move on. And also, the pop count's quite low for this card, which is super interesting. But again, PSA is backlogged, so there's something to take into consideration. So this is where I wanted to start talking about weird stuff. So we're starting to see an influx of SRs and like all these cards that are not really rare at all popping up on the market. People are really just trying to take their bulk, grade it, and sell it for as much money as they possibly can. And guys, I'm gonna just be honest with you. This is something you should avoid. Personally, I mean, listen, if you're a hardcore collector, if you have to have every freaking card in the TCG, then who am I to tell you otherwise? But listen, if you're new to the card game, you know, you might not be aware that these are not really worth anything. They're SRs. You know, they're not that hard to get. Personally, I've only found SRs valuable when you're playing the card game itself, so having this in a slab is kind of eh. But the other thing too is like we've got another example here. We've got the EBO2 Nami. This isn't even an SR. This is just a rare, and somebody's trying to sell it for $60 USD. And not to mention, the pop count is really low. So like clearly this is kind of a new thing popping up for the One Piece TCG, and I'm just here to say, do not fall for this trap. The card might look nice in hindsight, but there's no stamp on it. There's nothing really significant about it. Maybe like OPO1 cards, we could maybe talk about it, but other than that, I really just don't find any of these cards that valuable. Again, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? But I really just don't think you should be buying these. I mean, hell, if you bought a booster box of any set, the chances of you pulling the rares and the SRs is you know, decently high. But, you know, take that information as you will. I just wanted to give anyone who's new a heads up. You know, people are trying to sell their bulk for a premium, if you know what I mean. So anyways, let's move on. So we've been seeing a ton of promo cards being sold right now. This is the gift collection chopper. We've talked about this card a few times. I personally think, just like the Dodgers card, I think that this card is going to be kind of like a yearly seasonal thing where the price is going to spike. If I were to guess, and with Dodgers, you know, every time Dodgers has a One Piece collaboration and they have another one coming up, you can imagine the cards are probably going to spike in price, right? This is a Christmas card. Now, if I was to make an educated guess, I would say that this card is probably going to pump around Christmas time. Now, with OP17 around the corner in August, the market may kind of go through a bit of a crash afterwards because after the 4th anniversary set, things are obviously going to slow down a little bit, but I do think this is going to be a seasonal card, and, you know, sold for $1,300 USD, which is, you know, it's a little high, but it's also a promo card. Again, from the gift collection, so really cool stuff. We've got a 2022 STO1, so I'm pretty sure this is the first deck for the One Piece TCG, one of the first decks with Luffy in it. This card is... Now, okay, in an example like this, I have mixed feelings, because on the one hand, you know, people could have bought a ton of these back in 2022, 2023, and it was a deck kind of thing. There was no rarity, but like if we're going to start talking about like vintage and, you know, like the first cards, we kind of start entering a bit of a weird space. Obviously, saying the first leader card from a One Piece deck sounds a lot better than just like the 4th or 5th, right? So anyways, somebody sold this for $369 USD. Pop count is quite low. This is an old card, so it's hard to kind of put this one on blast because, you know, again, one of the first. And these are things that, you know, people consider valuable. Looking at this card, I mean, EBO2, great set and everything, but it's a rare. It's not that rare, okay? This is from literally OP13, which is a goated set. Set didn't come out a long time ago. There are just rules to this, okay? But anyways, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Next up, we've got the BOA Release Event Winner card. Guys, this card sold for $1,200. The pop count is 64, which is insane. But again, PSA is super backlogged with like millions of cards right now, so I don't even think I should be looking at the pop count right now for new cards. But anyways, I knew the second I saw this card, it was going to go up in price, you know, for obvious reasons. Like, let's be really honest here, you know. The stamp, guys, the stamp. What is wrong with you? But no, seriously, really nice card. You know, release event cards, stamped cards, treasure cup cards, all those sort of things. Big fan of them. I even like the pre-release event cards. Those are pretty cool. I'm a big fan of stamp cards, but let's move on. Speaking of stamp cards, we've got a 2024 Zoro Championship Event Pack selling for best accepted offer. Let's quickly see what that is. So $100 off, not too bad. I mean, really cool card, as we were just talking about. You know, I'm a big fan of stamped cards. I also really like the championship stamp for 2024. It just looks really cool. But yeah, super neat card. Person provided a lot of great photos. By the way, guys, if you're selling cards on eBay or anywhere, provide nice photos. Have a bit of good lighting. You can see this guy got a bit of a ring light. But yeah, I think this is a really nice buy. These type of cards are traditionally going to have low prints because they're from tournaments and stuff like that. We've also got a influx of treasure rares being bought out. The Zoro from OP15, so fairly new. This treasure rare sold for $1,300 USD. Now, treasure rares are like, they're really rare. It's interesting. Like, treasure rares are kind of like this little gem type of rare card that they'll throw in a case. They didn't start it until I think after OP06, but they're really neat cards. They're really hard to get, only one per case. Now, case mapping could change. OP16 that just came out may in fact be changing the game up, but we know all the previous sets, there was only one treasure rare per case. So they're really hard to find, really cool cards. $1,300, I mean, it's a bit expensive, but I haven't looked up this card's price anyways. But for a treasure rare, that's definitely a bit pricey. But Zoro is also, you know, second in command, if you know what I'm saying. We've also got this treasure rare Luffy card from OP13, sold for $385, or sorry, British pounds. It was bid on, and yeah, I mean, as you can see, a lot cheaper. And you would think OP13's treasure rare would be a little more significant, but I guess not everybody's a fan of Fat Luffy. So, and speaking of Luffy and treasure rares, this one I would probably label as one of the grails of the treasure rare cards, because it's just such a beautiful card. You know, this card obviously came out when Egghead was airing, and Egghead is a phenomenal arc. And I mean, just take a look at how gorgeous this card looks. I'm a big fan of this card. But anyways, $2,100 USD. Pretty insane price for this, but very beautiful card. Next up, we've got the Japanese BOA SP from EBO3. Guys, I really do think these cards are probably going to do well long term, because EBO3 was not only a controversial set because of the printing and stuff, but they're going to be a very limited set because these reprints are a joke. Anyways, this was sold for best accepted offer. Let's see what that is real quick. 2,100. Wow, okay. So 2,100 euro, not too bad. Actually, it's pretty expensive, to be honest with you, for a Japanese card. But again, we're seeing Japanese cards starting to rise in price. You know, 6 months ago, Japanese cards were kind of a little bit of a hidden gem, and I think that's starting to fleet away. So, all right, next up, we've got this pre-release card here, sold for 767 British pounds. Guys, this card is really hard to come by. Again, pre-release, it's got the stamp, and it's also from 2023. I've only seen maybe 2 of these in the wild, and I do think this is a very sick card. It's also very cool that Luffy's on it as well. I hate to make this comparison, but we see it in Pokemon. You see Pikachu in the background, it's worth more, right? Like, you see Luffy in there, it's worth more. But a really cool card, and honestly, I really loved Alabastos. It was one of my favorite arcs, personally, so really cool card. All right, moving on, we've got the Film Red Japanese PSA collection here, selling for 2,300 Australian dollars, so about 1,600 USD. Again, Japanese cards are starting to blow up in price. Now, the thing is that we're obviously seeing promo cards explode in price right now. We've seen it with the first anniversary collection. We've seen it with the 25th anniversary collection. I do obviously think the Film Red collection is obviously the next best guess. I don't think this set is blowing up as crazy as people had hoped. Maybe they're not a big fan of the close-ups or the art style. Maybe they didn't even see the movie. But anyways, 2,300 Australian dollars, insane. Okay, so serialized cards, guys. Very expensive in the One Piece TCG. We've got these Chinese first anniversary set One Piece cards. This Nami card here selling for $7,500. I remember a year ago, somebody was trying to sell this for about $1,500 on the Facebook Marketplace. Low-key regret not getting it now, but serialized cards, guys. If you see a freaking number on that card, it's already worth something. Okay, we've got the PSA 10 BOA here, this beautiful BOA SP from OP09. Honestly, one of my favorite BOA SPs. I do not have this card, but I think it is fantastic. I also just love the blues. Blue's my favorite color. I love the look of this card. Really great. But it was sold for best accepted offer, and it looks like it sold for 800 British pounds, so honestly, not too bad. I mean, again, PSA 10, and it's a beautiful BOA SP, so really gorgeous card. And the pop count's actually a little low, interestingly enough. Just wanted to show another Treasure Rare Luffy card here. This one sold for $2,000 USD, which is crazy to me. Next up, we've got the Kizaru PSA 10 Top 64. Top 64 Kizaru PSA 10. Gorgeous card. Selling for $2,500 USD. And wow, the pop count's super low. And there was a guy locally selling this card for like $1,400, and I didn't buy it. Regret. All right, guys, we're making our way through this now. We've got the we got a PSA 10 of the Nami from the gift collection, selling for best accepted offer. Let's see. Looks like $500 USD, so $50 off. Not too bad. And again, interesting to look at the pop count below 2,000. So nice card. You know, I wasn't too crazy when I saw these. Like if objectively, not my favorite card, not my favorite type of card. Like the gift collection, the cards were kind of weird to me, but they're still nice to have, and they are kind of starting to blow up in price. So they're a little vintage, not too vintage. All right, this is a big one, guys. We have a Japanese serialized Gear 5 Luffy. Top prize selling for best accepted offer, but when you see $25,000 crossed off, you could make an assumption here. $23,000 USD, guys. Holy crap, dude. Total of 126 total PSA 10s of this card. Crazy, dude. Crazy price action going on. Again, serialized cards, Gear 5 Luffy. We got another Treasure Rare Sanji card here from OPO12, selling for best accepted offer, which was 600, so $10 off. Really nice card. I was actually finishing the Big Mom arc recently, and when I saw this scene in the anime itself again, it hit hard, because I was like, oh, this is a card of this. I need to get it now. Poor Sanji. All right, moving on. We've got this. I'm not crazy about this Nami card. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's a Treasure Rare card, sold for $850. USD. So there you go. Definitely unique. We've also got the One Piece Day 2025 Luffy here, sold for $500 USD. Really cool card. They released this card right before, obviously, Elbaf was starting to air on like the anime. Really neat card. Really cool card. Really big fan of that. All right, and the last couple of cards we're looking at here, we've got a PSA 10 of the Luffy SP from OP13. I was super lucky to pull this out of my box when I got it. Really great card. Absolutely love the look of this card. I actually think I just need the Ben Beckman and the Sabo to complete the whole SP set. So that's really cool. But yeah, sold for $700. And last but not least, we have the manga event card from PRBO2 in Japanese, the Gum Gum Jai card, selling for just shy of $1,000 USD. But anyways, guys, there you have it. What are your thoughts on the market right now? Lots of interesting things being bought and sold. But it's great that we pay attention and take a look at what's going on in the market so we can get a rough idea as to what people are getting interested in. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy the video. I hope it was informative. Lots of great stuff in here. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. A video should pop up on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.